But as we heard Detective Villanueva say, anything that happens on airport proper is technically, it usually falls under the investigative authority of the LAPD.
And on the LA Times website, there's an eyewitness account, and that's one thing we haven't really been able to get in touch with people who have been inside the airport. Brian Adamick, he was getting ready to fly to Chicago for his brother's wedding. He was in Terminal 3 getting ready to board a Spirit Airlines flight. He said people were running through the terminal away from a security area. He said he went through an emergency exit, which is what we were watching passengers do, down those stairs onto the tarmac. And this is a quote from him. He says, "While I was on the tarmac, I heard 2 gunshots from the same area where people had been running. A few minutes after he got outside, those buses showed up to help evacuate the passengers." He said he did see at that point in time a wounded TSA agent board one of the buses. According to this person named Brian Adamick, he said the man's ankle was bloodied, looked like something straight out of the movies.
Well, and that's certainly what it feels like, something out of the movies, when you see these kinds of scenes at our very busy airport, Los Angeles International Airport, with tens of thousands of people moving in and out of this airport every day. It is really shut down at this point in terms of folks being able to get into the airport and folks trying to leave the airport. They are able to, but it looks like if they do, what we have seen, they've literally been walking out of the airport proper. What we're looking at here is the top of a parking structure, which is right in the middle of the horseshoe at LAX, and it is a place where helicopters have historically been allowed to land. I've landed on that site. It's right in the middle of the airport. This is a City Fire helicopter that landed. We don't know if they're there to transport wounded, or is there as a precaution, or is bringing in VIPs or officials who will manage this situation. We just don't know why they are there, but they're on the ground now, and you can see they're winding down their rotor. Law enforcement presence everywhere on airport proper. I want to go around with some of our reporters. Eric Spillman is on the ground right there just outside of the airport proper. He's been observing aircraft coming in and out and some of the traffic. Eric, has are the airports from where you are able to observe, or are the... I'm sorry?
We don't have Eric.
Oh, we don't have Eric. Okay.
Okay, Sarah Welch. We have Sarah Welch on the scene. If we could get her up and let's speak with her. Sarah, what have you learned since you've been at LAX this morning?
Well, we just arrived this morning. I'm standing in the horseshoe here in front of Terminal 1 at arrivals. You can see behind me the long line of traffic. A lot of these cars, law enforcement. You see the fire trucks behind me. As you know, this is developing, but again, we've heard around 9:30 this morning, a man walked into the terminal and began opening fire, perhaps dressed in camo. We're here with a gentleman, Alex. He is from Norway. He was about to board a flight this morning who actually witnessed the gunfire. Tell us what you saw.
There was a guy downstairs, started shooting, and one guy fell down. Panic erupted, and he was setting up through the security check.
So you were standing in line, and you saw the man open fire. Describe what happened.
Just 3 loud pops, and everybody started panicking.
What did you do?
I lay down on the ground, and luckily he just went straight through the security check and into the terminal.
And so at that point, then you laid down on the ground, law enforcement came in, and did they round up everybody and to take them out?
Mostly everybody just ran on their own. And it didn't take long before the law enforcement came.
So you saw one shooter?
Yeah, one shooter.
And you saw him shoot a TSA agent?
He shot one guy downstairs, yeah.
Alex, thank you. You're one of the many tourists here. You're traveling on vacation here, and you've walked over here. You may be here for some time because the airport is shut down in all directions.
Don't let Alex get away. Let me ask him. Can he describe what the shooter looked like? You know, as you said, we've heard that he was wearing military fatigues. How was he dressed?
Did you see him dressed in camo? Because we were hearing that he was dressed in some type of camo or military garb.
Yeah, he had kind of grayish green clothing on.
Did you also get a look at the weapon?
It was an assault rifle, I think. I don't know guns, but it was a rifle.
Did you see see law enforcement take down the suspect?
Nah, I was outside of the terminal.
Thank you, Alex. So again, you heard that from an eyewitness here. Sherry, if we pan around, you can see the traffic, and just as Eric has been reporting, there are people everywhere. Yes.
I don't want you to let Alex go because we know that there's
He's
traffic.
right here.
We know there's traffic there. I do want to ask Alex some more questions. He's describing what he believed was a man wearing some sort of military garb and used a rifle. Was he standing right next to a TSA agent and shot him? What precisely did he see at that moment?
Well, as you said a short time ago, you were about 20 feet away, correct? Can you recap this again for us as to what exactly you saw?
We were all standing in line upstairs in Terminal 3, getting to go through the boarding pass and the check through. And a guy downstairs near the escalator started shooting, and he started walking up and through the security check.
So he was downstairs, and this was outside of the terminal then?
This actually occurred inside the terminal?
Yeah.
So the man came up the stairs, you were already upstairs in line, and then the shooting erupted inside the terminal?
Yeah, downstairs before going up the escalators, the first shot were fired.
So the first shots were fired downstairs inside. The gentleman came up the escalator and then continued to fire?
Yeah, he fired several shots when he went through the security check as well.
And so the security check that he's talking about is the TSA area, is that right? So he shot someone downstairs in the arrival area, went up the escalator, continued shooting, then went through the TSA security checkpoint on the upper level?
So Frank is saying that it began on the lower level. You heard the shots fired, and then the suspect came up the escalator and continued shooting upstairs, correct? Through the security area?
Yeah, that's correct.
So he was past security?
Yeah, the security checkpoint kind of cleared out really fast.
So it was when he came up the escalator, he was right at the security checkpoint when he continued to open fire?
Yeah.
And then what happened to this suspect at that point, Sarah?
At that point, you got yourself down on the ground, but you said the suspect ran?
He walked quite slowly inside the terminal and heading to the gates.
Or eventually we're hearing that he was taken down by the authorities.
That's good. I hope so.
And it was.
Thank you, Alex.
I guess.
Yes, Frank.
I just wanted to get a sense of from Alex. How much of this did he observe, and how much was he told by other passengers? I want to know if he actually saw this, because if he was at the lower level himself, I want to know what he saw at the upper level, or was he at the upper level himself?